Welcome back to Glitch Radar, where we cut through the noise and serve up the latest tech news without all the extra fluff. So grab your popcorn, settle in, and let's dive into the latest tech drama that's got everyone talking. It's been a few weeks since Google's ex-CEO, Eric Schmidt, made his questionable comments. Some folks are still scratching their heads, asking, what's the big deal? Let me give you a little backstory. I recently had a knockdown, drag-out debate with the VP of technology at a large organization. Like Schmidt, he has a strong disdain for remote work. Let me tell you, it got heated, like two programmers fighting over the best text editor. Except this wasn't about Vim versus Emacs. This debate centered around the benefits of remote work versus the traditional office grind. I ultimately feel there's a great divide brewing between the pro-remote and anti-remote work camps, and it's not just about productivity or efficiency. There's a cultural divide here too, one that often seems to split along generational lines, particularly among non-millennial leaders who might feel more comfortable with the way things were back in the day. But hey, I'll leave that for you all to weigh in on after we dive further into Schmidt's comments. So, Schmidt recently took the stage at Stanford University and decided to stir the pot a little. He blamed Google's lagging performance in developing artificial intelligence on, you guessed it, remote work. He said, and I quote, "Google decided that work-life balance and going home early and working from home was more important than winning. And the reason startups work is because the people work like hell." I don't know about you, but Schmidt's comments kind of sound like a bitter ex who is trying to save face after a brutal public breakup. Let's dig into why Schmidt might feel this way. He points to several of Google's AI missteps. First up, we have Google's chatbot race. Spoiler alert. Google lost. OpenAI's ChatGPT was the Usain Bolt of AI chatbots, leaving Google trailing behind, looking like that one guy who showed up to a marathon in flip-flops. Then there was Bard. Remember Bard? Yep, neither does anyone else. Bard didn't really sing the right tune when it finally launched. It was like trying to compete in The Voice and getting booted in the first round. And don't even get me started on Gemini. This one was supposed to be Google's big comeback, but instead, it stumbled out of the gate with glitches galore. It couldn't even generate images properly. It's like asking Picasso to paint and getting stick figures instead. So, is remote work really to blame for all these issues? I've led a 100% remote work software engineering organization myself. And let me tell you, my teams were super productive, sometimes too productive. The always-on nature of remote work meant my teams often put in way more hours than they would have in an office. There were days I'd log on at 8 a.m. and still see emails flying around at midnight. It was like night at the museum, but with code coming alive after hours. Eventually we moved to a hybrid work model, and that's when things started to get interesting. Meetings constantly started late because of team members now navigating logistics issues like traffic jams, parking, and hunting for conference rooms like it was a game of Where's Waldo. And those Zoom calls, if half the team is in the office huddled around a whiteboard and the other half is remote, it's like a bad game of telephone. The folks at home are left squinting at the screen, like, is that a cloud architecture or a sandwich recipe? There were so many issues when we returned to the office that were almost completely solved by remote work. So, Schmidt's claims that remote work is the root of Google's AI troubles? I'm calling BS on that one. Let's consider some other plausible reasons why Google is trailing behind in the AI race. 1. Organizational red tape. Google's corporate structure might be as complex as a Da Vinci Code. Too many cooks in the kitchen, and not enough sous chefs getting things done. Google, like many large technology companies, faces challenges with its own internal processes. Bureaucracy can slow down decision-making and stifle innovation. Unlike startups, which Schmidt praises for their work-like hell mentality, Larger corporations often grapple with layers of approvals and red tape. 2. The juggling act. Google's got its hands in a lot of cookie jars. Search engines, cloud services, mobile platforms, you name it. With so many priorities, sometimes they can't see the forest for the trees, or in this case, the AI for the data points. This divided focus can lead to less agility in responding to rapid changes in the AI landscape. 3. Competition heat. Let's face it, the AI game is like the Olympics, and every tech giant wants the gold. Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, they're all flexing hard. It's not just remote work or work-life balance affecting Google's progress. It's the fierce competition and the rapid pace of advancements in AI technology. 4. Talent turnover. Losing top talent to startups and competitors is like watching your star player leave your favorite sports team to play for the rivals. Retaining top-tier talent is crucial, and when those key players leave, it can set back projects significantly. So, while Eric Schmidt might be out here blaming remote work, the reality is a bit more nuanced. There's a lot at play in the AI space, and remote work is just one tiny piece of a much larger puzzle. But hey, that's just my take. What do you all think? Is Schmidt onto something, or is he just throwing shade? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep grinding, keep glowing, and keep innovating.